Hello, I'm Dan Marr from Hamblett Kerrigan in Nashua, New Hampshire. I've been practicing law in the state of New Hampshire for approximately 36 years and about 28 years in Massachusetts. And I've been here at this firm for 35 years. I'm going to be talking today about what happens when you're a victim of a crime and you can pursue civil remedies for that. You may be in a situation where you had somebody that embezzled from your workplace. They stole from you. They were the bookkeeper or some other person that actually stole from your company, or maybe even stole a bunch. They were a contractor and they took a whole bunch of construction equipment or supplies so they could do their side jobs on the weekends. You have similar civil remedies there. You could be in a situation where you're actually a victim of a sexual assault, a rape. And in that situation, certainly the police are going to be involved in regards to that, but you also have civil remedies here. And we're going to talk about that today in this program. Our firm has represented victims of crimes in civil suits on a variety of situations, including the financial ones like the embezzlement or some other type of financial crime, maybe fraud that was done on somebody, and the personal injury, obviously, of being physically assaulted, sexually assaulted, or any number of other crimes that are there, including theft from somebody. So in those situations, you can pursue those claims. I've pursued claims for embezzlement and misappropriation of funds in the civil context and gotten liens and recoveries in regards to that from the civil remedies. In addition to the police doing their own thing in the law enforcement side, sometimes there can actually be private restitution agreements where the police are not involved. That's and that can be discussed with your counsel, and including myself. I've dealt with those issues as well. But obviously in the situation where there's a violent crime such as a sexual assault, the police are certainly going to be involved in that. You certainly, under no circumstance, at least in my mind, would you want another victim to be victimized by this person. So you want to stop that. And sometimes you feel the same way about the embezzlement as well, and that depends on the client. And I've had a variety of different circumstances in that, and it all fits really with not only the client but the facts of the particular situation. So, but outside of the law enforcement, you can pursue those claims. You can go forward and you can do a tort for misappropriation. If they stole something from you, you can do a tort for assault. It's called assault and battery. The battery, under the terms, is actually the physical attack. But in any event, you can pursue that, and people call it assault all the time. And in that situation, you do have rights to civil recovery. One of the things that doesn't happen though in these intentional acts like the fraud, the embezzlement, the sexual assault, the physical fight, somebody hits you, in those situations you don't have insurance. The vast majority of times your insurance does not cover, or that person's insurance doesn't cover the coverage of them doing a wrong intentionally. So if they intentionally defrauded somebody, they intentionally misappropriated funds, they intentionally went after they were a sexual predator, or they did some other heinous acts, generally the insurance is not covering that. The insurance is covering accidents, basically, or casualties. That's what insurance is generally for. There can be some limited policies out there that have that, but it's very rare that you have that. So you generally have to go after the person, and you have to go aggressively because you want to pursue remedies. If you want to find out what their assets are, if they have a real estate, you want to go after the real estate. If they have bank accounts, you want to try finding out what those bank accounts are and try to get liens on those, maybe on what's called an emergency basis, ex parte basis, so that if you know where the banks are and you think they have monies before they can pull the money out, you get a lien on that. So before they know what's happening with the lawsuit, they actually have the bank calling them and telling them that their bank accounts are frozen because of a judicial lien. So that's called the trustee process, and I've done those before as well. We can talk about those all in detail, but the key thing to think about is you don't have to just do law enforcement. I'm not suggesting that law enforcement is not a proper avenue going through the criminal process when somebody's committed a crime against you, and I certainly thoroughly appreciate that you don't want somebody else to be victimized again by this person, but it's a different standard also. The person, as we know from O.J. Simpson, who recently passed away, and not many people were terribly upset with him passing, he was not found guilty in the criminal act, but he was found guilty in the civil act of the same thing that he had done. So in that situation, it's a lower standard of proof. Burden of proof is called preponderance of the evidence generally, which is a balance of the equities, and if it's so slightly in favor of the plaintiff, then they can recover in that situation. This case, my own opinion was he should have been found guilty to begin with, but in the criminal context. But notwithstanding all of that, he was found responsible for the civil context, and you can do that. In some situations, it's not even close. Maybe the liability is not close, and really the goal of what I'm doing is trying to find the assets and trying to recover financially for this person so that they can help put their life back together. I'm happy to help you in regards to that. I've done these cases for the 36 years I've been practicing law. I'm here at Hamblett Kerrigan, at Dan Marr again, at Hamblett Kerrigan, at 603-883-5501, 603-883-5501, or you can check out our website, NashuaLaw, all one word.com. That's NashuaLaw.com, and we have a lot of vlogs and blogs and other very useful information, as well as you can see some other very great attorneys that we have in this firm that could be ready to help you if the need arises. Look forward to the opportunity of working with you if the opportunity so arises. Thank you.